Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest says we are at the start of something wonderful, the Oregon Summer Fruit Bonanza. Here to tell us what to look for in markets right now, we welcome back produce expert Josh Alsberg. Good to see you again.
You too, Helen. Good morning.
Look at this bounty of fruit.
Isn't it beautiful? And it almost matches our garb.
Look at that. I do. I love it. Yeah, look at that. That's awesome.
We're orange. We're pinkish.
Yes.
Just like the colors of the rainbow of fruit this time of year.
Berries.
And it is on right now. It's full on cherry season.
Yes.
And we're getting the biggest bounty that we've seen in probably years. So we're right in the middle of the season right now. It's a great time to get out to your specialty produce market, the farmer's market. I mean, you're going to see cherries at all the grocery stores right now.
Are they still a little tartar than they would be toward the middle of summer?
Well, towards the middle of summer, the season's going, it'll end.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so, as we get towards end of July, they start to fade out.
Okay.
We'll start to see some of the sour cherries in about 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
And those are the ones that you want to bake with.
Okay.
But these are the best eating cherries.
These are the
right
best eating
now.
cherries. Okay.
And typically you're going to see a lot of red varieties. Most people know them as Bings, but there are lots of different dark cherry varieties too. This one in particular is called Black Pearl.
It's wonderful, by the way.
Yeah, they're so sweet. They're delicious. What you want to look for in particular is you want nice glossy fruit. It's kind of shiny here in the light.
Yes, it looks so good.
Yeah, if you find dull fruit, it's probably a few days older. You want to avoid that.
Okay.
And I'm usually looking for bigger fruit because the pits on the inside are all about the same size. So the bigger the fruit, the more meat you get.
Oh, okay.
Per cherry.
Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so then these guys are.
So these are actually called Napoleons, but they're very similar to the Rainiers down in that bottom bowl down there.
These are the Rainiers.
Exactly. Okay. So people call them yellow cherries. Rainiers is what we know them as. There's a few different varieties of the yellow cherries as well. And look at the healthy stems. So you want nice, healthy green stems. That means the fruit was just recently picked.
Oh, really? Okay.
So the darker and more shrivelly the stem, so like this guy, for instance, here. Hold that up. I don't know if you can get a good shot of that guy there. It's a little bit more brown.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably still delicious, but you want to avoid having the sort of shrivelly stem.
That's good.
Aren't those fantastic? Now, and you'll notice that with the dark cherries, you don't really see any abrasions in particular because it's so dark. With the yellow fruit, it's going to show a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, when you see, I'm going to try to hold these up here too.
Okay, sure.
So when you see fruit like this in particular, it's got, a little bit of browning on the skin. I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is okay. So what happened is these cherries probably rubbed along the tree, but it's still tasty. You should have that.
I will try it. Yeah.
The ones I would avoid are something more like this, where, I don't know if you can get that in there. It's not just browning, but there's like a little hole in there, and there's possibility that you get mold in there as well at some point. So this is the fruit that I try to stay away from.
This one is excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, and it's so sweet and meaty.
Yeah, and then, so when you pick these, what are your suggestions? Just to look for what you just said, which is these kinds of stems?
Exactly, yes. And try to, eat what you can, eat a lot of them, because cherry season is fleeting.
Oh, okay.
We only get one cherry season here in the Northwest, and then it's done. If you want to preserve them, however, so they don't really freeze all that well because there's so much sugar in them.
Oh, okay.
But my wife's got a really great recipe for something called Bounce, and
Tell me about that.
We brought some with us. So what you do is you take the cherries and you put a whole bunch of sugar in there and bourbon and like a vanilla stick.
I'm listening now.
And you've given yourself a little bit of a Christmas treat. So this will stay. I think we made this last year probably.
Okay.
So we're gonna take a little taste
like a
there.
little cocktail?
Exactly, and you can add your favorite mixer in there or however you like to do it, but it really brings out that nice cherry flavor.
That's really good.
Yeah. So that's probably the way I would suggest that you preserve those.
Yeah.
But go to the market and get them now, because this is the height of the season, and within about 2 to 3 weeks, they're all going to be gone.
Tell me about apricots.
Apricots. So I have to be honest with you, I generally don't love conventional apricots. But I discovered these a number of years ago.
What does that mean, conventional?
Well, the apricots that you get at the large grocery stores.
Okay.
So they're usually harvested before they're ripe. And they'll still keep ripening off the tree, but they don't really maintain the sugars or their balance very much. And so they kind of turn to mush really quickly.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
okay.
but this one is called Robata, and this is grown
So
by a bunch of
pretty.
local growers. There's another one called Blenheim, and it's nice to be on the lookout for those. But these are really nice and juicy. You can see kind of the gloss on the inside there.
Yeah.
Here, taste that guy.
I'll try this, yeah.
And these are fantastic. They're super juicy, sweet, and they've got that really nice apricot essence that people really look for.
Oh my gosh,
it's
that's
not
good.
quite as floral as some of the other apricots, but for eating, they're fantastic.
Perfect.
And if you don't eat all the apricots, like if you get a bunch of apricots and you don't use them all, you can grill them and put them under ice cream.
Oh yeah.
You can freeze them too, and they make great smoothies and desserts at any point that you want to. Just put them on a sheet tray, individually freeze them, and then once they're frozen, 12 hours later, you just stick them in a bag and leave them in your freezer if you've got enough space in there.
There you go. All right, let's get to the more berries.
The berries,
Black
yes. So we are
berries,
just
raspberries.
now starting into berry season.
Okay.
So we enjoyed strawberries for a while. The hoods,
Yes.
unfortunately, are done, but there are going to be some other strawberries out there for a few more weeks. But we're getting these wonderful blackberries. This is the first of the blackberries. Here you can taste
love
one of
blackberries,
these.
yeah.
So the early part of the season, the berries are a little bit more tart.
That's what okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And I don't know what this variety in particular is called, but we're going to see a few more varieties come out, including boysenberries and everybody's favorite, the Marionberry.
Yeah.
So those are going to start up, I think this weekend is when we're getting some over at our store.
Okay.
And they should be going on for about 2 to 3 weeks after that. And then the raspberries have just started. We have 3 different kinds of raspberries here. So your traditional red raspberry.
Oh, that's so good.
They're nice and sweet. If you haven't tried a rose raspberry,
So pretty.
they're beautiful. They're a little bit more delicate, a little bit more floral and sweet.
Yeah.
I really like these a lot. Great for ice cream, by the way.
There you go.
I mean, nobody likes ice cream here, so.
Nope.
And then the gold raspberry, try that guy. There's a little bit more tartness to that one, but also quite lovely.
That's great.
Yeah, and it's the same with the berries as it is with the cherries. You want to choose nice, glossy, hardy berries.
Yeah. Perfect. Look at that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And eat them, freeze them, do whatever you need to do to enjoy
Berry
them.
season. Josh, thank you so much. All right, we'll be right back with more AM Northwest. Don't go away. I'll have one more sip of this.
Yeah, I'm probably going to join you here in just a minute for that too.
It's so